I'm Noodles from the Offspring. I hope you guys know that. You guys booked the tour, so I was advertising.
Oh, is that one?
Yeah, right. Sorry. Sorry, it's not, someone better on guitar. It looks like we got a lot of people that kind of know punk rock. Is there anyone here who's kind of new to punk or has a limited knowledge on punk? You can admit it. Well, there's a lot of stuff I don't know. I don't know like the DC stuff or the UK stuff at all. Okay, looks good. Good. I try to not under-explain. I realize I catch myself talking about somebody and then later realizing, oh, if they're not into punk, they might not know who that is. So I'll try to. If I do, please ask me anything. There's no stupid questions, but I'm sure I'll come up with some stupid answers for you. So, welcome to the Punk Rock Museum. I love this place. This is my 4th tour in 2 days. But I've been here about 4 times before, and I really love it. We've got Jonah here joining me. He's going to help out. He's the 5th member of the band. The musical director keeps me on my toes. Also my cousin Amelito.
Yay. I live here.
All right. No problem. So this is the kind of the welcoming room for the museum. I think it's closed because we're doing a performance later. You can't get to it.
Yeah.
There's a bookend to the end of this. It's all kind of newer bands that are kind of happening right now. That's pretty cool. But what Mike was telling me when they designed this room, they wanted to show the inclusivity of punk rock. So you have people of color, white people, of course. Everyone knows that. There's plenty of those in punk rock. People of all, queer people, trans people. People that get their ass kicked. There's a lot of violence. There's also some, just sexy, beautiful people as well. A lot of pop punk, hardcore. Anyone who tries to just think outside the box and question the rules. If somebody tells you you must do something, you question it. Well, why must I? Or you can't do that. Why can't I do that? That's the main thing. Why can't I do this? Punkers are always, don't tell me what I can't do. You try to break the rules in smart ways that are creative, not destructive. Every once in a while, we destroy some shit, though. We are punks, so. That's it about this room. Is there any questions before we head out and all the exhibits? Okay, let's do it. Follow me, people. I want to put Stevie in the corner.
This one they do.
So there's great displays throughout this whole museum. I mean, every time I do a tour, I see something that I hadn't noticed before, and just start drooling a little bit more out of one or both sides of my mouth. The back wall there, that's Joe Strummer, and that little kid is Harley Flanagan, who's like a New York. Back then, he was just a punker, but he became like one of the pioneers of the New York hardcore scene. You'll see his picture throughout as he grew up, and he's still touring with Cro-Mags, and I don't know that much about the hardcore scene. I was never into the New York or the East Coast hardcore scene, but he's huge in it. There's going to be displays. Like I said, there's cool stuff in each room. Some of the things that I like the best here is Joan Jett's outfit, the leather jacket, and her Ramones shirt. Everybody wears Ramones shirts now, but back then nobody did. It was just the punks. She was one of the first ones. Joan Jett, of course, from the Runaways, and Joan Jett, and the Blackhearts. The Ramones were huge for every punk rocker. I don't know anyone that's into punk rock that doesn't like the Ramones and hasn't been influenced by them in some way. They, of course, were huge for the Offspring and all of us. Their first record, I think, stayed on my turntable for probably a month without changing it, or at least not much. That would be the one that I would start the day with and end the day with. Might change out a little bit throughout the day. The Ramones are huge. Miss them all. Thank God for Marky. He's still out there keeping the songs alive, keeping the spirit alive. when you walk by this case back here, right behind you guys, there's a Johnny Thunders 1958 Gibson Les Paul special or something, Les Paul. It is a beat up looking, trashy looking guitar. It's probably worth tens of thousands of dollars because they're great guitars. I think they were kind of like a cheap guitar at the time, but they really did work well, and they've got a really unique, just grungy, powerful, grinding sound. They're very well sought out guitars now, and that one especially since there's a picture of him playing it actually. Johnny Thunders was in Toy Dolls. He was in was the Heartbreakers, was he in there? And then he did his own stuff as well. Great guitar player and just like punk rock legend. The other thing of note in here is Jerry Only's bass. I'm pretty sure he made that one when we played with him recently at the Aftershock Festival in Sacramento. It was about 2.5, maybe 3 years ago. He showed up with 13 handmade basses, and he throughout the show repeatedly just smashed them and broke them throughout the show. But he made them all himself. I don't know if he drove. He must have shipped them across country because I know he flew out. But then he loaded him in by himself. You know, he's like his own roadie. He didn't even have a roadie. He's a very very interesting guy. Jerry Only of the Misfits. Very blue collar, New Jersey boy. Despite the devil locks and the black eye makeup and everything else, he's a pretty salt of the earth kind of guy and works his ass off making basses that he can destroy. That's punk rock. Any questions about what you see in here? Anything I didn't touch on that I should have?
Did you play with Ramones?
What's that?
Did you play with Ramones?
We did play with the Ramones. Yeah, we played with them a couple of times at festivals, and the first time we played with them, we were on after them. It was a festival in Oslo, you know, and we thought the Ramones are legendary. They're huge. They should be on after us. They should be headlining the whole festival as far as we were concerned. So we walked up to at the festival, I think in the hotel on our way to the festival, and we told them, you guys, this is wrong. We should switch spots. You guys should go on after us. You guys are the legends. You guys need to be on after us. And Joey goes, hey, Johnny, did you hear that? The Offspring said we should go on after them. And they all laughed and said, you know, don't worry about it. They were sweet as could be. And that was our first real brush with them. Every time I was in a room with Joey, I just kept thinking, holy shit, that's Joey Ramone. Holy shit, that's Joey Ramone. And I couldn't talk, so we never, unfortunately, I didn't have any real great conversations with him because I just turned into an idiot. But he's a punk rock hero. I mean, he overcame so much in his life, you know, to literally be a punk rock legend. I wish they would have been bigger when they were still alive and all together. Yeah. They didn't get what they deserved. It's great to see you, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Nice to see you.
Yeah, so thank you for the question. Great question. If we don't have anything else, we'll move into the next group. Cool. Yeah, this one's going to be kind of tight. Let's bring it all in. This one's a little tight, but we can fit everybody in here.
That's okay. I'm used to being the one that can't see. It's okay. I'll squeeze.
So this is mostly UK stuff. There is another UK exhibit as well. This is, I would just say a few of the main UK bands that of course made a splash. The Sex Pistols first and foremost. I think they changed probably as more lives than maybe even the Ramones. Just because they were so obnoxious and made a splash, whereas the Ramones were pretty hardworking, you know, fellow guys. You know, Johnny Rotten was that bad. I remember, you know, news articles on TV about how horrible this punk rock was. You know, exposés about punk rock, how it's coming to destroy your children, and the Sex Pistols were always used as an example of that. The Ramones not so much. You know, jeans and a t-shirt, big deal. bobby pins, and yeah. Look at the eyes on Johnny Rotten there, Plus Johnny Rotten and Sid Vicious, It wasn't four guys named Ramones, so. Anyways, but the Sex Pistols, Nevermind the Bollocks record changed my life. It changed, countless others as well. Another band that I don't know many punkers that don't love the Sex Pistols and that don't love that record. Yeah. The Damned was also a huge influence for us. Loved them. We covered "Smash It Up" for I think a Batman movie soundtrack. That was really fun. We got to play that in front of Rat Scabies, the drummer, at Glastonbury, probably 97, 98. And our drummer at the time, Ron, fucked up the drum solo and came in like late or early, I can't remember. And Rat Scabies was right on the side just vibing him. And later, after the show at the bar, Rat Scabies made Ron pound shot after shot and atoned for his sins. This is Captain Sensible of the Damned's outfit here. Just a great outfit, and he is a great guy, really super funny. Love that guy. Tons of great exhibits, like I said. You'll pick out what you love. Billy Idol from Generation X. I got to sit in with him a few years ago in his own band with Steve Stevens and whatever. We did Ready Steady Go, which is an old Gen X song, and that was really fun. Any questions about this?
Who's behind you?
Who's behind me? That is Dave Vanian from The Damned.
Okay.
Yeah. Skulking in some hallway. At some point, he lives this. Like, this isn't just him, like, dressed up for stage. Dexter signed them to his record label Nitro 20 years ago. And he got to go visit him, and he says, you walk in, everything was dark. There was little boxes with bugs all pinned in, like Silence of the Lambs kind of shit. But he's like the real deal. And a sweetheart, nice guy, but he loves the creepy, style. And probably the real first goth punk is Dave Vanian, I would say. Thank you for the question. That was good. Let's go on to the next string here.
Yeah.
Bring it all in, guys. Let's see you get everybody in here. So, all the exhibits here in this room, this is the stuff that I was falling in love with as a teenager. Started with the Sex Pistols and the Ramones, and then I started to learn about, like the local bands that were playing. Fear, of course. This movie, The Decline of the Western Civilization, had so many bands in it that we loved. X was one of them right behind me. Loved that band. That was when I was starting to just learn more about punk rock and what it meant. And there was all different kinds of bands in the scene. It was still kind of artsy. There was a lot of aggression, like if you look at Black Flag and stuff. I think that was kind of the beginning of the more hardcore, aggressive kind of punk rock. Germs too, probably. Although, yeah, Darby was definitely hardcore. He was gnarly. There's a video here on your way around. You'll see it. That was shot to be in a movie, and it was supposed to be a punk band in a club, but Darby was playing himself. And he was just pissing people off, slapping people in the face, and he was just causing so much trouble that they couldn't use any of the footage. I think the director shut it down. But that's how their shows would go. They would get halfway through a show and it would get shut down by the promoter or the venue owner. Seriously, punk rock didn't really give a care, about what anyone thought. He was just going to cause some trouble, and people either loved it or hated it. And I tended to love that kind of stuff. There's a Ramones, a shot of the marquee at the Hollywood Palladium where the Ramones played, and a phalanx of cops in front. And that was a show I was at, one of the first shows I probably ever went to, first punk shows, big ones. And a riot happened. I think a mob tried to break through the doors right there. it was kind of like in the back. The real entrance was around the back, and this, I guess, would be the technically front entrance. Anyways, cops came, shut everything down, kicked us all out. I'm driving my dad's little 2-door Vinny car with 4 people in it, and I turned the wrong way, and it's just a wall of cops with the clubs out, like ready to club my dad's piece of crap car, and us in it. And I go, "What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do?" And they go, "Get the fuck out of here!" And so I got the fuck out of there. Yeah. I never got clubbed by cops, but I know people that did. Well, Dexter and Greg K went to go see the Dead Kennedys at Wilmington. There's a well-known Riot back in the early '80s, and they felt the clubs.
Oh wow.
They both got hit. Yeah.
Is that in LA too?
That Wilmington, yeah, a suburb of LA. Yeah, kind of like behind it. Greg Ginn of Black Flag started SST Records, probably one of the first independent record labels, punk rock record labels. But what he was doing originally was making solid state technology, and so all those boxes down there. That's what he was doing when he started the band, and he just kind of started the record label out of his solid state technology studio. He's kind of a freaky electronic genius, and so there's a bunch of his we call transistors, solid state transistors.
So he actually made those.
He made those, yeah. Those are some of his old stuff. Anything I'm missing, Jonah? Okay. Any questions? What's that?
Just to admit them and that video that they're doing it from, it's a shooting challenge up in smoke.
Oh, for Cheech, okay, Cheech and Chong's up in smoke. Thank you.
Unreleased footage, no one's ever seen it.
Yeah, that's great. Wow. Yeah. I knew it was for a movie. I couldn't remember which one. Yeah, thank you. So good. Well, all right. A little bit more. Yeah, you'll like this one, Jonah.
I like it all. We'll make it, we'll have to play.
We're all LA stuff in through here. Really young Greg Graffin and Brett Gurewitz of Bad Religion. Brett Gurewitz would go on to found Epitaph Records, and that's what Ignition and Smash were on. We released them on there. We worked for him really hard trying to get him to sign us, and eventually he signed us on. I think we tried with our first record. He said no. And with Ignition, he said yeah. He said he played it for his kid, and his kid loved it. So his kid Max. Milo the Descendants with no glasses on. I think that's kind of a rare one. Not only thing most people would. Yeah, he looks like a little baby. It's so funny. One of my favorite punk rock singers. He was, like I said, I didn't like the hardcore stuff as much. I liked it aggressive and fast, but I also liked it melodic. I think Dexter's the same, feels the same way. And the Descendants have that in its face. Great songwriting with plenty of just aggression and aggressive playing. In the room back here, there's a yellow drum kit with the horns that Keith Morris writes about in his book about how ugly they are. That's the drums that they played on Group Sex. I think it was Group Sex. Got it, better go check that. Anyways, that's the drum kit that the Circle Jerks used. Lucky Lair played it. Oh, wow. Played them. There's a cutout of Gabby from Cadillac Tramps, who was in Orange County. They were in Orange County, just one of the most beloved Orange County kind of funk bands. Also Manic Hispanic, he sang to them. And fortunately, we lost Gabby a few years ago to cancer. But funny guy, phenomenal frontman. There's a Minutemen amp in here that's just beautiful. I was a big Minutemen fan. I love D-Boom's playing. And then there's an amp from TSOL. And if there was one band that influenced everyone in the Offspring to play and play the way we do, it's TSOL. Huge influence on us. They were kind of local, Huntington Beach, Long Beach area. We'd see them play around. Just huge fans. I still, to this day, love Ron's playing, Jack's singing, and they're friends of ours now, but still fun that one. Any questions about this?
Talking about the bands and artists that influenced you, is there any bands or albums that you would say never got the recognition that they deserved that you are your favorites?
Until recently, yeah, like the Ramones never like, you know, we were we're still just barely breaking, and we're playing Love Them. Now, Ramones had a huge following in South America. Brazil loved them, Chile, Argentina. They did really well down there. Maybe some parts of Europe, but I didn't get their due. But TSOL for sure, like the Dance With Me record, I think it's been on. They got a lot of shit for. I think there's a copy of it with. What's the record? It's Beneath the Shadows. And I love that record. It's great, but they tried to do something a little different. And the punks in Orange County at the time, we don't like this. They probably called it gay at the time, you know. Unfortunately, it's a great record. Anyways, so yeah, them, you know, all this stuff none of the punk stuff back when this was all happening, ever got the recognition that I felt it deserved at all the punk groups. What changed it was, I'll say, Nirvana in '92 when they released "Smells Like Teen Spirit." I'm listening to this, going, "What is this? This is like from our scene. This is good, you know. Yeah, more of this, please." And so until then, you see way more Ramones t-shirts now than you ever did back in the early '90s.
I saw her.
Did you? Nice.
On a riverboat.
On a riverboat, where? What city?
Florence.
Wow, right? That had to be rad.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
I got that
Yeah.
squished at Mashita.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. Yeah. I was probably around 82, maybe 83, the Palladium thing that I saw.
Oh, okay.
So probably around there, early 80s for sure, but not on a riverboat. That's cool. Oh, wow. Wow.
1982.
That's amazing. Doing the early stuff like Gloria and
Yeah, it's just right after
before they sold out. Yeah. Awesome.
We gotta get on a riverboat, dude.
Yeah. We did play on one on the Thames once. We played on but it didn't go anywhere. It was just
Oh, this
you know,
this
Thames.
one went. It went
It
out.
went
It
out.
went out and then it came
Yeah.
back.
You gotta do that. Cool. Oh, look at this with Jack. I didn't even see that before. That's amazing. Yeah. Well, this next thing's really is holding you. Try the steps. So all this furniture right here is it used to belong to Mike Ness. This was in his den, and apparently this is where he wrote all these lyrics. The guitar in that picture right there is right there, and that. Another State of Mind is a movie that was originally supposed to be a youth brigade kind of, you know, like focus on the youth brigade because they went on tour with Social D, and Social D just stole this show. Them and the guy who keeps fixing his boss, whose name I keep meaning to look up, can't remember his name. But yeah, how amazing is this? Is Mike Ness's furniture there? Who? Anyone going to the show tonight? They're here in town. Yeah, right on. Yeah, good. That'll be what a no-brainer. Bad Religion and Social D. It's kind of a yeah. Kind of a gimme right there. It's correct. The longboard in the corner, that is a set list from No Use for a Name show. And right around the time that we took it out on tour, and there's a couple of songs you see they did covers like Turning Japanese, that's obviously a cover. And then a few songs above that is Redemption. That's Bob Marley's Redemption song. And when they were touring with us, they asked me to come out. I got to jam with them on that song a couple times. Really fun. Great pop punk band. Yeah, Tony we lost Tony a few years ago too. Tony was a great songwriter, a great singer. Terrible.
I love them.
Yeah, any questions about this? You guys know that Mike Ness was just given the keys to Fullerton, the city of Fullerton last week? Yeah, it's Orange County town, yeah. Fullerton and Anaheim have some great bands, Social D, The Adolescents, huge influence on us. DI, yeah, of course, yeah. This pole right here is this is how not so much in Orange County because there was no, nobody walked in Orange County, but like in San Francisco and parts of LA, people would staple their flyers to posts like this. Feel free to take a flyer if you see one you'd like as a memento. They'll just put more up. Mike told me it's okay, so yeah. So that is true. Yeah, that is absolutely true. So don't take any of the ones off the wall. But the ones off the post here, yeah.
Okay, well, I will tackle you.
Somebody
This
press.
I believe you.
Yeah. This is my security guard. She's here to protect me and to protect some of you from me. So.
All right, it's
This is the punk rock wire shop. There you go.
All right, so
You check it right out here.
anybody in here? So that wall and this wall here are all Bay Area, and the wall, facing that wall. That club is called Mabuhay Gardens. I can't remember the street it was on, but it's a legendary San Francisco punk rock club. So all the early Bay Area punk bands played there, and all the traveling bands from LA would go up to play Mabuhay Gardens. Our very second show, we weren't the Offspring out, we were still calling ourselves Manic Subsidal, but just a name that tried just a little too hard to be fun. But our second show is at Mabuhay Gardens, right there. Honored to have ever been able to play there for all 5 people in the audience. It really is a legendary club, and it's cool that we were able to do that. I want to say Dead Kennedys, of course, probably the Bay Area's biggest punk rock band, and huge influence on us. Loved Jello, loved his weird way of thinking, the way he could talk about politics. He still kind of make it witty, and humorous, as well as point out some serious issues in the room. Really do respect that. And the music use was great too. Great song. He's got Ray's guitars sound phenomenal. Right here is a bunch of flyers for Gilman Street, where we used to play. We probably had our first real scene following in Gilman Street, even more than Orange County, because we would go up there like 3 or 4 times a year, drive up. We did the long drive the other day up 5. We would drive up the 5. I love Gilman Street. I still to this day love it. I think it's a great thing, a great place. Unfortunately, they banned us once Smash came out and we started making money. It wasn't just us, it happened to Green Day too. I know Tim Yohannan, who was kind of like the head of it, this and Maximum Rock and Roll Magazine, very much, I don't know if I want to say communist, but definitely a socialist, and in good ways too. What I loved about Gilman Street is bands, even if you were like the headliner, you would have the most popular headlining, you might make less money than the band before you if they drove, from 2 states away and you just drove, across the Bay Bridge or something. I love that about this. Kids, if they couldn't afford to pay to get in for entry, they could either clean up before or stay and clean up after, and they let them in for free. And I thought that was, I just love that. And they did, so much for bands, all American bands, and even bands from other countries that would travel. They did a lot to help that out. So a few years ago, they were having some financial trouble. So we did a benefit in Berkeley at a different club, just got Clay there. We did a benefit and donated the funds to help Gilman stay open. I think they did there's a documentary about it. I haven't seen it yet. I'm in it. And I got to sit for the interview. So many great bands. Rancid came from there. Operation Ivy first, then Rancid. Green Day played there. I saw Green Day there. I saw them at Operation Ivy's last show, which there's a picture of that. We'll see. And then another time I happened to be up there and I saw Green Day when they were like in the middle of the bill, and I helped them load in their drums because I just kind of knew them through friends. And I watched them play and just went, these guys are going to be huge. Their songs were great, catchy. energetic, super, aggressive guitars and drums, and they could sing. Mike and Billy Joe could just sing harmonies like nobody's business. So, and I was right.
What's this one?
They're good. This is Tim Armstrong's guitar when he was in Operation Ivy. Back then he went by the name Lint. That's how I knew him originally. It was Lint. I don't know why the name Lint, but he went back to Tim. And I became Noodles later. Yes.
A friend told me that Tom Waits, like you guys can used to call it a station and say don't play it so much. Is that true?
Tom Waits?
That's okay. I heard.
Yeah.
Is that,
I wish. No, I don't know.
okay.
Yeah.
I'll never pick that up. All right.
I'm a big Tom Waits fan, but I've never met the man. Yeah, unfortunately.
I bet someone.
Yeah, I know people that have worked with him and envious.
Well, did you used to call the radio station and say don't play it so much?
Tom Waits?
So did you guys used to call the radio station to say don't play it so much?
No.
Okay.
Seems kind of counterproductive. The only person we told to stop using our music in his TV show was Rush Limbaugh back when he had it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we call him and say, don't use us. We don't like it. You stand for the opposite of everything.
Good question.
New York Hardcore. I don't know too much about the New York Hardcore. I'm sure little Harley Flanagan is growing up and all over some of those pictures. I know he is. The one thing, I do have an Agnostic Front story. We were playing in a VFW hall that was rented out for a show, and Agnostic Front was going to headline. It was in San Bernardino. We drove about an hour to get out there to play. We got to play. There's video of it. It's one of the earliest shows where there's video of us playing. James was our drummer. Our very first drummer was still in the band. It's pretty funny stuff. Kind of scary. There's some Nazi skinheads. I think you can see them in the video in the back. And then somebody started throwing, the VFW hall was right next to a fire station. Somebody started throwing bottles over the fence or the wall into the fire station. The cops came, shut down the show, and Agnostic Front never even got to play. So, unfortunately. Drove all the way from New York and didn't even get to play. I'm sure they had other stops in between. I want to point out this handsome little young man right here is 30-year-old. He looks like he's 12, but it's 30-year-old. Todd looks like he's 30 now. But 30-year-old Todd Morris, our bass player. Yeah. That's his band H2O with his brother Toby, the singer. Straight edge hardcore. Great band if you haven't heard. And handsome dudes.
Free Brandon.
Who was that? The Descendants?
Come on in, let everybody, make room for everybody.
Squish in, guys, squish it.
Come on, for real.
All right, so this is DC over on our right, my right here, some of your left. I don't really know that much about their DC scene. Beyond minor threats, the biggest one is Bad Brains. We're huge, so energetic, crazy, literally crazy. HR is literally crazy. But what a performer, man! When he was on, he was just fun. He just do backflips. They would play really aggressive hardcore, hardcore songs, and then they would slip into some reggae stuff out of nowhere. It was just kind of, I think the juxtaposition kind of threw some people. I loved it. I thought it was great. There's one other thing I want to point out. There's a letter to a band called the Necros here. This is Necros. Send me info on the band and when they're going to be in the DC area. Stickers too, please. David Grohl. Yeah. David, that's another band from the DC area. Scream, David Grohl's first band. Great, phenomenal band. I love them a lot. Yeah, I don't know whatever happened to that guy. Yeah, hope it worked out. Yeah, I hope it worked out. Right, yeah. Yeah, actually, Dexter started, he was a little older. I think Dave was about 14 when he wrote that. Dexter, when he was 18, 19, started a correspondence with Jello Biafra. And Jello remembers him from that. And they've had a friendship ever since. Yeah. So write your heroes, you never know. I'm not sure. There's a lot going on in this display. I'm not sure. Like that, right? You saw that. Fancy Division is one of the first openly gay bands, doing great things to support their community. The Lunatics, we got to tour with them a couple times, once in the U.S. and once in Europe, and I don't know why Gina did that to the guitar. It looks like it would just make it harder to play. I mean, she's a shredder. She can play anything. She'd like rip up a phone book and make it sound good. Big fans. Then we got to. That's one of the things I did love about punk rock too, is that it was like more than the rock scene. It really was accepting of women who wanted to rock, get out there, and rock. Lunatics, L7, Blondie, early on the Runaways, even though that was kind of before punk rock was a thing. I really do. That's one of the things I've always appreciated about punk rock. Wendy Williams, is that her? I guess we're right. Okay. So there's still great stuff out there. I just went and saw an all-girl Japanese punk rock band called Otoboki Beaver. Yeah. Anyone heard of them? Yeah. They're great. They're phenomenal. It's crazy, right? We went and saw them together. Yeah. Super good. That other band too from South Korea.
Drinking Boys and Girls Choir.
Boys and Girls Choir.
Yeah.
Really good.
Also great. Yeah.
Highly recommend. Amel and the Sniffers.
Amel and the Sniffers.
One of the best punk rock bands out there. All right. Might know something about this next season a little bit.
That's that guy.
Yeah, that guy, huh? Yeah.
That should have been the Air Jordan.
I'm working hard. Look at how puffed out my cheeks are. This has to be 95. It's probably the end of the Smash tour. We toured for about a year and a half after Smash came out. I know it's 95 because I have really short hair, which I did that. I shaved my hair off in Japan early January 1995. And underneath was all this gray that I had no idea was there. It was long and brown, and I shaved it off. And like people were going, "Holy shit, dude, what happened?" Dexter still has his braids there. I don't remember when he lost those. Probably right after the Smash tour, all that year of touring. One of my guitars, one of my duct tape guitars, my old glasses. I had eye surgery a couple years ago, and I don't need those thick lenses anymore. I can mostly see without glasses. This is one of Dexter's old amps that's what we used to play through. That wasn't just practice. That was the amp he had when we started off. We would record with that. It was one of the most ugliest sounding amps you've ever heard. But we lent it to a friend of ours, Ernie, from Lethal Gene, one of the first bands we were friends with. And when he gave it back to Dexter, there was a note inside from it was directions to a show, and then there was also the address of a studio that we recorded in. All this old kind of stuff that we hadn't seen in 30 years. Because I think he just got that back like 2 or 3 years ago from our friend. So I think it's found a sitting place behind glass where it can't hurt anybody anymore. I think the suits are from around Americana era. I mean, we did Smash, and then the tour of Ixnay, and Dexter just decided to we're professionals now. We got to up our game a little bit. We got to look good for the fans. So he was experimenting with these suits. He ended up realizing it just wasn't him, especially after he did one suit that was like tiger stripes, orange and black tiger stripes, and we're walking out to go on stage, and he goes, "What do you think?" And I said, "It's I think he burned that one. I haven't seen it since. I don't know what happened to that. This is a great thing too. Well, let's talk about Green Day too. Their Dookie came out about 4 weeks before Smash did. So we've been kind of drafting them ever since. That's the year that punk broke. I love what Mike Dirt said. He said, punks have always been broke. What do you mean? So, that was a great response. But this Grammy down here is Pat Smear's from The Germs and Nirvana, and of course the Foo Fighters now. It's a Grammy that he lent to the museum along with the card that he got with his Grammy from the Grammy organization that says, "You're not allowed to display this in any museums. Please keep it at home. It should be on your desk or office. You're not allowed to." So, yeah, we're kind of hoping the Grammys try to sue and drum up more business for the Punk Rock Museum, right? Yeah. There's a great picture of Kurt Cobain on a couch right there. I think that's Fat Mike's studio, a studio he had probably in San Francisco. And that's the actual couch there. So if you want to take a picture, feel free to sit down and take a picture of yourself in the Kurt Cobain repose. Sure.
Dirty Magic.
Yeah.
You said Nirvana influence. It's Dirty Magic?
Maybe.
Because that one to me always has felt like Nirvana. Like every time I hear it.
Yeah. I don't think we really got into Nirvana until because Nevermind came out the same year as Ignition.
Heaven?
So 92.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We were aware of Nirvana before, but I don't think Dexter listened to it much until Nevermind came out. Yeah. A lot of people ask if Nirvana is an influence of ours. Mm-hmm. And maybe, but it would be later. The main influences were all the early punk rock bands, most of which I've mentioned. Sex Pistols, Ramones, Dead Kennedys, but TSOL is the number one. But also Adolescence, Social Distortion, Mommy's Little Monster was a great record. And what was the single with 1945 on it? That's a great song, 1945. Vandals, stuff like that. So I bet we share a lot of influences with Nirvana. Yeah. Any questions in here while we're at it? Okay. Let's move on. We'll go out here. We still got upstairs to do too.
We'll move in?
Yep. Oops, sorry, as you go.
Actually, Dirty Magic here reminds me of that song Break the Chain. It's a band that Stevie Nicks was in.
Oh,
I can't think of.
Sorry, I have
How
bad
to get in the name of that.
I'll remember it in about
match. Yeah, that. Thank you. You know which one? I'm probably saying the wrong song, but towards the end, that breakdown, it's exactly almost like Dirty Magic.
Hey, I'll have to listen and pair it up.
After this, let's listen to it.
Yeah,
it was bugging me.
It doesn't fit, but it fits, and it just has always been like a red flag in there. Like I could see that song just sticks out to me every time I hear it.
Yeah.
Like from that album.
Well, we got everybody in here? Yes.
Send it.
So we just walked past a bunch of fanzines, and when punk rock first started, there was no mainstream, writing about punk bands and the punk scene and punk clubs. So punks did it all themselves, kind of DIY. Two of my favorites of the fanzines were Flipside and Maximum Rock and Roll. I read those religiously. They both had scene reports from around the country, if not around the world. I know Maximum Rock and Roll had plenty of scene reports from like all the major European countries, and you would hear about bands that you never heard of before, and you certainly weren't going to hear about it like Rolling Stone or your local newspaper. And even the clubs that were happening, you wouldn't hear about it usually in the local newspapers, and certainly not in Rolling Stone. So that helped keep the scene alive. The back is a bunch of kind of like, I guess, dedicated to punk rock independent record labels. I think Nitro's up there somewhere. That was the record label that Dexter started. And really, the reason Dexter started Nitro was we were good friends with Guttermouth. we used to do shows with them all the time. We thought they were really funny and just really nice guys. There's a flyer back in the corner there of us with Gun and Mouth. And one of the few bands that we were really friends with before Smash came out, you know, or really the Epitaph era when we started being friends with NoFX and Pennywise. Guttermouth was the only band that would hang out with us. And Dexter was trying to get Brett to sign Guttermouth. Dude, you got to sign Guttermouth. You got to sign Guttermouth. And Brett's just like, man, I don't love him. And so Dexter goes, that's it. And so our very first royalty check from Smash, Dexter borrowed Greg K's royalty check too, and put it together and put out the Guttermouth record, and that was the birth of Nitro Records. And Dexter really did do it because he just loved the music. He didn't really think, you know, anything would happen for it. He went on to sign AFI at one point. He had a bunch of bands, Wilhelm Scream, The Start, a bunch of great bands on that label. But you can say the same thing about, I don't know why the other guys started the labels, but there's all really cool punk rock stuff on each label. Hellcat, that's Tim Armstrong's imprint, really. So I think Hellcat was kind of done in conjunction with Epitaph, which was our label for Ignition and Smash. Mike saw what Brett was doing and started Fat Records. We became friends with NoFX through Epitaph, and they took us out to support them right before the year before Smash came out. We did a 6-week tour of Europe opening up for them, sleeping on their bus mostly, and we learned a lot from them. These guys were actually making a living playing music. We're like, what? Punks making a living? Them and we knew Bad Religion was kind of doing that. They were big in Europe. Bad Religion at the time. I don't think they did much in the U.S. No punk bands did, but Bad Religion did a lot in Europe, and then so was NoFX. So I think that was the first. I got out of debt. I was in debt to the band, and I earned enough money. Like I'm talking maybe $2,000 in debt to the band, or not even that, less than $1,000. And we made enough money to pay off my debt. Thank you, Fat Mike, and NoFX. See over here is so there's Fat, there's Epitaph. That was our record label, and I think Epitaph just did so much for, well, at least our genre, our era of punk rock. You know, Rancid, Pennywise, NoFX, a bunch of other bands as well. But they're still doing great stuff. I think Nate No Face is on Epitaph. They do a lot of different stuff. Wayne Kramer was on Epitaph from MC5. He just passed away this last year, but MC5 is huge. Before anyone knew what punk rock was, MC5 was punk for sure. Right behind you on the wall, this is the show, the Operation Ivy's last show at Gilman Street. I was there that day. And if you look at the little kid in the far right corner with the mullet,
Stoned ass.
you don't recognize that guy? Yeah. Billy Joe Green Day. This was their first, I remember their first show as Green Day. You recall? I can't remember.
Sweet Children.
Sweet Children? Thank you, yeah. That was their first show as Green Day. All right, let's,
I do have a comment about the fanzines you were talking about.
yeah.
Like, especially for younger people now and bands, that was how we knew where to book
Exactly.
gigs. And we didn't even have phones because that was too expensive to call long
Right.
distance. You wrote letters,
Yeah.
right?
Our first cross country, I don't know how we did it.
I don't know.
Cross country tours, and we would write
Yes.
letters and correspond.
Exactly.
And eventually, once we got into town, we'd get on the payphone and try to call
Right.
somebody, but you couldn't afford
And
to
find
call
a
long
place to
distance.
crash on somebody's
you know?
floor. Or
Exactly.
whatever.
You would send out the, at the
Yeah.
show. Anyone got room for us to crash on your floor? Yeah, that's how you come
Yeah.
alive. We'd sleep in a band.
Oh my God.
Oh. Yeah, we'd horrible places, but yeah, it was so fun. Everything was.
It was fun.
It was punk rock.
It was crazy.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah, and so you still have some of that.
Question: did you work on anything for Nitro Records at all, or that was mainly just Dexter?
It was a Dexter's thing. Yeah. I hung out. I liked her. I listened to the bands. Got to play with some of them. So the start had Jamie Miller. It was Jamie Miller and his wife Amy, and they were the main ones at the start. And Jamie's now the drummer. Well, some people are going to see him tonight at Bad Religion. Yeah, absolutely. He came out and did some touring with us right at the beginning when things were recovering from the pandemic. Couldn't be a cooler guy. Top-notch human being and phenomenal drummer. Just one of the best drummers. Yeah. So really good. All right, let's see. What do we got here? Joe Escalante's leather suit, which, if you know Joe Escalante at all, I can't imagine him ever wearing a leather suit. I don't really know what to say about this. I guess they're calling it like street punks. You know, a lot of different bands. There's also some like the Irish, Celtic kind of stuff. Drop Big Murphys and Flogging Molly. Both good friends of ours. We've done tons of shows with those guys. Club of all. They're great. Anyone do the Flogging Molly cruise at all? Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna like it. Being stuck on a boat. You know, not being able to get off or somebody's annoying, but it's so fun. We did it with the Offspring once right before the pandemic, and then right after the pandemic, I got to fill in. I got to play with punk rock karaoke, fill in for Greg Hudson, who was doing the Circle Jerks reunion tour. So I got to cover his spot, and it was a blast. All right, and Boston's ska. Ska's also a thing.
Yeah. Sums it up.
This is really cool. This is Pennywise's actual rehearsal studio. I'm told everything here is from the actual studio. I know all the carpet is. Fletcher told the story about the carpet and how they got it and commandeered it and what they did to it subsequently. I think you call it pee-pee carpet. And the beer cans apparently are actually from the studio. You know, and then really notably, that's Jason Thirsk's bass. Jason Thirsk was the bass player that passed away, and at one point he was even their lead singer. Wrote a lot of their early stuff. Great guy. Bands will play in here. It's all you can actually all set that up, and people will get in there and play shows, which is rad. All right, any observations or questions or anything?
Whose guitar is that?
Yeah. That is Weezo's guitar. Weezo are a German punk band. Kind of crazy. I think they're on Fat Records. But we played a show with them. It was a big festival, and it was like televised. So we had like TV cameras going out airing it, and the guy got pissed off at one of the TV cameras, like a $30,000 camera, and he kicked the shit out of it and got the bill for it. So unfortunately, you know, and when you're an upcoming punk band, like $30,000 hurts. So
did you ever go to a Pogue show? Just curious.
Go to what?
The Pogues.
I never saw the Pogues. No. Yeah, I would have loved to. Yeah.
I saw the same.
Yeah, no, unfortunately I never got to see the Pogues. So yeah. In here, this is going to be kind of tight, so you can go in if you want. I'm not going to walk you through there. There's, this is like kind of world international stuff. The first room, I think, is mostly Japanese bands, high standards on here. We got to get Otomoki Fever in here. There's a bunch of Japanese bands, though, that we've played with over the years that are just phenomenal. What is looks like the Japanese Rabose, I don't know why they left Canada in here as well. I would think, you know, Canada has more in common, I think, with the Bay Area than like the UK.
Is that the mic? Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a bobblehead up there at the front desk too.
Oh, that's a good question. I never asked.
I saw this one there, so I'm like,
Maybe still Spoder in, right? Just like, love the Ramones. We did a number of shows with him. I got to drink and smoke with him at an airport lounge once. Just for about an hour to 2 hours, somewhere in that, and he was the real deal. This Moraz, who works here, British guy, knows Lemmy, was hanging out with him in LA when this picture was taken. And he said, that's the real deal, because I was halfway through the day, it was still sunny out, and that bottle was gone. He said he never saw Lemmy drunk. See him drinking, you know, but he never really saw him drunk. When I was hanging out with him at the airport lounge, it was me, Chris Higgins, who's like our utility guy back then. Lemmy went and got 2 tall glasses, one full of ice, one full of Jack Daniels to the top, and then a can of Coke, and he was kind of slowly mixed it. Then he went back and got another tall of Jack Daniels. Like in the short time we were sitting there talking and smoking, down both of them, and no shame. Yeah, just he gets lived a good long life, considering how he treated his body. And, you know, I think a very successful and stylish life. I mean, he was just a very nice guy, you know, really down to earth, even though he kind of looks a little crazy and a little scary. He's a sweetheart. And what a rocker. What a disgrace. Man looks so badass with his Ribbenbacher bass. And then this is an amazing one, too. This Joe Strummer's family donated all this stuff, brought it all over, and flew over themselves to see it installed. Really proud, and as they should be. That's the guitar he was playing with the Divine Mescaleros. We actually did shows with them, and I got to see him play that guitar. And then at one of the shows, one of the festivals we played with them, I was sitting. They had these picnic tables backstage at this festival in Austria. And he comes over, I'm sitting there drinking a tall beer, he comes over with a tall beer, he sits down, we start talking, and the whole time, I don't remember what we said, because all I kept thinking is, holy shit, I'm drinking beer with Joe Strummer right now. You know, same thing with Joey Ramone. I just couldn't chase the thought out of my head that, how rad is this, how rad is this, I'm talking to Joe Strummer. Couldn't have been nicer, great musician, you know, great style. I think that more than anything was what touched me. He was vocal, he was passionate, he loved art, he loved music, and he just had great style, and he was, again, the real deal. Amazing exhibit, and his family should be proud. Any comments or anything I missed? Oh yeah, the one that I missed. Lemmy's ashes are in that bullet that Morat donated that. When they did his funeral, they passed out bullets, and he just wanted to have a little bit of his ashes in. Oh, yeah. All right. Anything else before we head upstairs?
You say you had a beer with Joe Strummer. Is there a photo there or something, or what?
I wish there was a photo of that. No, you're gonna have to just trust me. Yeah, yeah. When I say I was at that last operation I used to, if you think of computer there.
Just go ahead, follow me.
I do want to talk about Low Sea Road a little bit too. This is pretty cool. Perfect. Do you know where Low Sea Road is?
Yes, I know where Low Sea Road.
Please.
Do you know where it is? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Us too. Where is it?
I'm pretty sure I probably signed it, but I mean.
We played her a couple of times. It was also there was the one that was just kind of out in the open. I think this one. Then there was the 3 cement walls with the channel. Okay, yeah. But sometimes you weren't playing actually in that. One time we played in that cement thing. Yeah. The sound was atrocious. It was just swirling. When you played a little bit further out, the sound didn't echo as much. But the guys from FSP, which stands for Fuck Shit Piss. They put on these shows out here in Low Sea Road. Yeah, there he is. Hey. This is Rob. Yeah. Rob of FSP and Vermin, right? Yeah. He's got a bass upstairs in the guitar.
Was at that show.
Thank you for doing all this. So he is responsible for all these shows happening out at Low Sea Road, and I mean, Beefeater came from DC to play out there. We just drove from Orange County. Yeah. NoFX played out there. Every like tons of bands. And again, we had to correspond. We had to write to Rob and go, hey Rob, can we play out in your desert? Sure. So, all right, let's go upstairs. There's a bunch of stuff there too. Kind of single file through this area. Yeah. I know back there. Do you know what that's from, Jonah? Decline. Is that Decline? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You want some more ink?
Ready? You guys ready to drink? You guys ready? Come on. What this is, you guys don't know, but this is a tattoo intervention. Everybody has to get some.
Thinking about it already.
Come on up and like slide all in like towards the stairs.
Yeah, come on in.
I think need a touch
everybody. There you go.
I need a little touch up.
Todd and I are getting ours.
Are you?
Tonight?
Oh, yeah. Oh, very nice.
He did the happy bomb with the skull.
Oh,
We get one?
moving on in, guys.
I'm little. All right, well, because we may not fit everybody, this is a functioning tattoo shop on a reg. For today and tomorrow, we have, in honor of these cats, we have a special Offspring tattoo, flash and whatnot, 20% off. Whoever wants to get an Offspring-related tattoo, period. But anyways, we're here for you in general, and we hope you have a great adventure, and you've got a good leader, so off to the 2000s. Woo!
You too.
Right on with everybody. You guys, welcome. Come on up. Everybody will fit. Just got to keep moving.
You too, guys. Sean, thank you very much, man.
Yeah, you got it, man. Absolutely. Thank you.
We'll get all this stuff later. Let's I can never wait. This is probably where I should end, but I can never wait. Wow. Are you the guy today? Yeah, hey, Noodles. So, nice to meet you guys.
Everybody pile on in here. They're all sardines in this aspect. So, basically, this whole entire room is like a jam room filled with a whole bunch of original instruments from various songs of the community. Do y'all want a quick run through? Do y'all want to jam? Do y'all want to play with him?
I think jam after the tour. If you guys are okay with that.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna start on this side of the fence. This bass up here is Chris Freeman's from the Panzer Division. Over here you got Pete from the Addicts. This wash tub bass and washboard right over by your leg, carved from Days and Days, also some far. Dropkick Murphys, you got the Venomous Pinks, Mike Rossi from Soul of the Stars, and Gene Hudson, Bordello. Pennywise, this keyboard is Wesley Willis's. Yeah, Strung Out. Lawrence Arms. That Diane Armstrong right there is from Wasted Youth. That Les Paul is from Rise Against. Those two instruments right there in the middle are from me first in the Gimme Gimmes. Up here you got Face to Face, Joan Jett's guitar from the Blackhearts and the Runaways, T.S. Sowell, Fat Mike's bass. Over here I have Rancid. Up there I have, of course, not The Story So Far, but Goldfinger. And then the other one, that SG, is from The Story So Far. MXPX, right behind you, Sick of It All, Norwood's bass, Rob's from Fuck Shit Piss, and that guitar up there, which is one of the coolest ones we have, is from Pat Smears from the Germs, and he actually used it briefly in Nirvana as well.
That's rad, right? Yeah. So rad. Thank you for that. Yeah. A couple things I want to point out. T.S. Sowell and Mike Roach, just look how cool he looks holding that bass. He just always exuded cool. And he played bass like a motherfucker. He's got some of my favorite bass lines like ever. And back in the day, punk songs that started off with a bass and then everything came in. Like he was great at that, and TSL was a big part of, I think, influencing that, and influencing us for sure. There's an amp in the corner. There's Fletcher's amp, and you can see it's kind of cracked and stuff. Apparently, it still works. They fixed it. But in our podcast with him, Dexter and I do a podcast, by the way, and we had Fletcher on. It was a phenomenal story. Everything he said was great, just genius. All we had to do was just kind of prod him a little bit, and he was phenomenal. One of the best conversations we've ever had on it. But that amp, he talks about, he threw a bunch of equipment off the second floor, out the second floor of his home to try to appease the gods, so that the record, either they got the record label or that the record did well. I can't remember the story now, but it was like a sacrifice, because we need a sacrifice. So he drank a bunch of beer and that was that cabinet was one of the things that went out the window. The amp underneath, I think that's a Mesa Boogie Mark III. We did a bunch of shows with them back then, and I give Fletcher tons of shit about his guitar tone, but we loved the way they sounded back then, just really, full and beefy. And No Effects too had Mesa Boogies. I think they had just started with Mark IVs, and they inspired us to upgrade our sound. But we couldn't afford 2 amps as we were going in to make the record smash. So Dexter and I bought 1 amp, a Mark IV Mesa Boogie, and we split it, and we both used it, and that's the main amp you're hearing on Smash. It was a Mark IV, and we really kind of owe that to, at least in part, to Fletcher from Pennywise, and as much as I hate to say it, it pains me to say it, Fletcher from Pennywise, and Eric, Melvin, and El Jefe from No Effects. Cool. All right, let's head out. If you guys want to come back in later, you can take these down. Just don't touch any of the knobs or any of the settings. So, oh, by the way, anyone know who Wesley Willis is? Yeah, Rock and Roll McDonald's. That's his keyboard, and all the presets are still in it. So, yeah, people can play that stuff. So, yeah.
Burger King ripped off their jingle.
If you know how to turn stuff on, don't change any of the settings, but you can actually play Wesley Willis's songs on there.
Yeah. Wait.
A lot of some other gear, little difference. Pushing up Pussy Riot's, masks, and I know a lot of people kind of diss their music, but I gotta say they stood up to one of the meanest motherfuckers and really, kind of showed who Vladimir Putin is. He's a terrible human being, but he's got all this power, and they stood up to him and they dictated. Unfortunately, they kind of think heavy fries door. So that's punk rock in my bar. A couple of things, displays of folk clocks. We were here a couple months ago. I got to see Days and Days play. They're great. In fact, that's one of their guitars on that washboard bass they donated that. They're dirty motherfuckers, but they play great music. So that Telecaster actually very similar to the microphone guard. I just noticed that. A lot of the 2000s, the kind of punk pops happen here. Represented here. Was anyone at When We Were Young Festival? Yeah, so that was really heavily a lot of this era music. One of my favorites is Alkaline Trio. I love those guys. I love Matt, and Adam Willard, who played drums with us for a few years, is now in Alkaline Trio, and I couldn't be more stoked for all involved, because he's phenomenal, and they're lucky to have him, and I think he's lucky to have them. All right, there's a couple more things over here, and then if you'd like, in front of our display, we'll do some photos. If you guys want to do some pictures. Great shirt, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I saw your photo.
Will be yesterday you would have got me.
Yeah.
This is actually really cool. We're kind of focusing on women photographers. This display, a lot of these displays will change, and this one right now is focusing on photography of women. It's some great shots. So if you want to poke your head in there afterwards, it's well worth your time. This one is I got the Warp Tour display over here. This is some fun rosters from 2002 and 2004. We did the Warp Tour, the entire Warp Tour in 2005. We did a couple of shows here and there. Oh, hey, look, it's our friends. Oh, Sun 41. Yeah. Their new stuff is great, by the way. I don't know if you've heard the new stuff they've done. I haven't heard the whole record yet, but Landmines is phenomenal. Those guys are cool as fuck, too.
I think you were awesome in the music video, by the way.
Oh, thank you. That's right, I forgot. Yeah, but this is fun. The rosters are really cool if you want to check that out. And then you might have some knowledge about this display here. This has always been one of my favorite shots of me. I don't usually think I look very good in photographs, but again, the puffed out cheeks. What the hell? Yeah, you go. See. Yeah. This is the Palladium. I'm pretty sure this was the Summer Nationals that Epitaph had us do. We headlined one night, Pennywise headlined one night, and then NoFX headlined one night with special guest Bad Religion. It's kind of funny, but it was 3 nights in a row with the Palladium, just kind of celebrating, the rise of our whole scene and all the bands on the label. And I think it was a brilliant thing for Brett to do, and really a lot of fun. We had Jack and Lon from TSOL come out and play with us. And at some point I realized I don't need to be up here anymore. There's too much greatness on this stage. So I did a stage dive and really fucked my back. So that was right back on tour the next day. Did we ever discover what this is, Jonah?
Yes, we did.
This is us get the whiskey. We had a big argument about where this was. This is the whiskey. I think this is also the whiskey. Same show, looks like it. Weird angle. Yeah. And I don't know when that would have been. I still have the long hair, so definitely 94. I don't know if this was just an Offspring show or the first time we played there. I know we played. It was for a surf movie. It was a Momentum 2 release, and we played with Sublime that night. But like Pennywise and a lot of the Epitaph bands have music in the movie, so we got to do that. So it could have been that, or it could have been our own show. I think we did do a. It's all a blur. I don't even remember, but I know we played the whiskey. And at one point I took my shirt off. I don't do that anymore. No one wants to see that anymore. We did a Rock for Choice thing. I think that would have been 96 when we did that. I think we were working on Ixnay on the Ombre, but we got to hang out with Iggy Pop, or at least Dexter did. And I got to hang out with Tim. That seemed like a good cause to be a part of, and still does. There's the set list for it. What else? That guitar, I was kind of surprised to see it here because it was in the studio up until a couple of months ago. We used that. I guess we use that a lot on Smash, but really mostly we use that now for clean sounding guitar stuff. It's just a really pretty and very expensive, and kind of like a custom made guitar. One of the few ones we've ever owned of that. And so I was kind of surprised to see it here, but it works good. Any questions about any of this stuff?
I have a question. We've got almost 40 years of history. We never told about releasing a biography on a book or something like by the original.
We always started to talk about doing that. Yeah, that's kind of the thing you do when you're old and about to retire, and we don't feel like they're there, So we're still having too much fun. When I'm jumping around or playing with these guys, I still feel like it did. But Dexter and I have started kind of kicking the idea around if you should maybe do that, somebody do that, or actually maybe do even like a documentary, kind of like Metallica did one 15 years ago, right? And they're still kids jumping around on stage. So maybe we'll do something like that. Yeah. There's some cool stuff in here too. Oh, and the lyrics, and all this stuff changed. There's some song listings on here. Songs like Cogs, which is Gotta Get Away. There's Man on a Mission, I think, or Man on a Wheel. Man on a Wheel, I think that ended up being Smash, the final song on the record. So all that stuff's kind of cool how things changed. Dexter's actual briefcase, he used to take that to school and had on a tour. A couple of 2-inch takes that we recorded on back in the day. I remember working with Tom Wilson. His name's on there, Tom W. Working on songs with him, and when you wanted to edit something, you had to listen back and forth, find the spot. Like we cut out a solo section out of a song off Ignition.
That one.
It just didn't need a solo. It was Take It Like a Man. And the solo was done anyway. So we took cut the part out, and we just kind of put the tape in it and cut it. They had to figure out where it was. Now it's just click and drag. It's so easy on computers. But back then it was all back in the Stone Age, it was all on 2-inch tape like this. Any other questions?
Was there like a thing that happened to pull Kill the President off the first album? Or was it just like you didn't want to deal with it?
Yeah, I think we got questioned by, not me personally, but I think we got looked at by Secret Service. And we just didn't want any hassles. Yeah, and Dexter was, I think, because we put it back out on his label, and he was just starting his label. He didn't want any blowback on any of the other artists on his label, So, unfortunate. I think it's still you find it online.
Yeah.
That's another solo. I hate that solo in that song. It's like pointless. Wish I would spend a little more time on that. I could make something better. Oh well. And then anything else before we start taking photos?
Do you end up playing CVGBs before we close?
We did. Yeah. Right after Warped Tour 2005, we came back. We had already done New York, and we came back and played it to try to help keep it open. It was a benefit show. We played with Theo and the Skyscrapers. So Theo Kogan from the Lunatics, and kind of a new wave project she was doing, which was great. Anything Theo, anything any of those girls do. Gina's got her own side projects, great stuff as well. I wish I could play there more. Actually, the band got to play once without me. I couldn't go on tour before Smash. Band got to play CBGBs without me. This sucked. I was still a janitor and I couldn't. Now I am a retired janitor. You guys want to do some photos? Yeah. Jonah, how do you feel about taking some photos for some people? We'll let him come on up here and then one by one or like group by group. You come up here. Sorry, yeah, you two be over here.
What's that?
I know where you are when you're getting caught up.
Yeah, right.
Same place I am.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah. Yep.
This is a funny picture. We're supposed to be in a subway, right?
Yeah.
So it was just a backdrop and Greg's holding a pole.
No.
Yeah, he's just holding like it was some kind of dowel or something.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I can't remember where it was shot.
I would have.
It wasn't a subway. Yeah. That was obviously early on. We still have the hair.
Yeah, wow.
So we all had long hair. What's this?
A copy of this was on the 20th anniversary box set.
Yeah, it's the whole sheet. I think that might be the same photo shoot, but just a different setup. That you shot. Had some house somewhere. Daryl, we social down. It's funny how much I don't remember any of this shit. Trying to place it, could take an educated guess.
Like that thing at the whiskey, or not.
Does that picture love on my lawn? All my others.
Yeah.
That one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They were using I don't remember if it was Showbiz magazine in Brazil. They were using this magazine.
Yeah, we had a bunch of those. We had to sign boxes, and when my wife and I moved about 15 years ago, 30 years ago, we had these boxes from here all the time. When my wife and I moved, like 15 years ago, I found one of those boxes and it was just shoved in a corner that I just didn't get around to signing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I just hope they didn't. I can't remember or not if they had it somebody else's. Like somebody else
spent this at Ron or Greg, spent the time to sign it all. And then I did. What?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think any of them were signed, but I don't know. It's possible.
Yeah.
You guys want to go some dinner?
Alright. Gonna be back in my hotel.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Yeah, of course I will.
Everybody here came out.
Oh no.
Oh no, you went to the same bar? Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, here, Brazil? Canada. Okay, so yeah?
You know,
Oh, do you? Oh, I wondered. So the last.
Yesterday's second group. She's got a lot of questions all the time.
Sao không gọi take a time. It's a little.
This was then worked out. We met an application to be signed with us for the brand. He was like, "I'm down."
Changing somewhere else. So that's cool. From Brazil. That's amazing.
You're not going to Battle Region?
I went last week.
Oh, okay, good.
Had to get both.
Got it covered, yeah. Cool. Nice. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Can you guys listen to me?
Have you been
Sure.
in
Yeah, what do you got?
Brazil?
Drop the.
Those
Okay. Or
the core.
No, we got 10 records.
The one
Yellow?
Yeah.
So I did that.
Did you come by yourself? You're just like me.
I was like,
our stuff. I don't know. Yeah, that's great. That's good. Thank you. How you guys doing? How's it going so far? It's fun though, right? Punk rock, man. Punk rock. That's right. I gotta say, I love this museum. Having spent a couple days with both
most of you guys now. It's been a blast. I freaking love it here. There's so much cool shit to see. It's just great to be here.
It's cool. It's great. I agree. I totally agree.
You just got here.
I did.
Dexter flew in from Vancouver, where we've been recording the new record. Getting some vocals done, halfway?
I did, yeah.
Your voice sounds extra special spicy tonight.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
I think it's from all the studio work.
Yeah.
Must be, right?
Yeah. Should we play some more stuff?
I get the feeling you're done listening to me. singing along too. That really does help a lot.
When we're figuring out songs to play for this, one of the things we talk about is the punk beat, right? Like, you can't really play.
You're not talking about chunk chunk take it up chunk take a chunk. Are you?
It just doesn't sound right to play with an acoustic guitar. It feels like you need to have a start. Make sure it's fast. Please, with me. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Pressure. You want to do it and we'll go back? Yeah. Let's just do it. Let's do it.
Craig Roberts. Oh, with a nice shirt. I like it. Hey, Craig. All right, always wondered, did the inspiration of doing a rendition of the song Feelings came from the Gong Show episode where all the acts sang Feelings?
The Gong Show, wow. I mean, Feelings is an old cover from the 70s, right? And I just thought it was funny because it had a whoa whoa in it, and it kind of almost sounded like you could make it a punk song. It had all the parts in it.
If you just changed the feeling to one of hatred rather
That's
than
right.
then it was a punk song.
And it worked, yeah, that was the idea. So.
I love the Gong Show, but I don't remember that seeing that on the Gong Show. But,
Really?
we don't get a, people are always bringing up Gong Show references to us, so. No. you're first, sir.
There's always got to be one, right?
Yeah.
All right, Reed Goldbreath. Hey, there he is. What's up, Reed? All right, Snatch has been widely popular since it came out, with many of the songs being used in various parts of pop culture, commercials, video games, etc. If you had to pick the one that means the most to you, what would it be?
Weird Al. Weird Al doing that song,
You know, when they first came to us, they wanted to do Laundry Day with Keep Separated, and we just felt like, oh, we're not a big enough band to be worthy of Weird Al's homage. Yeah. So I think we said no, but then he came back for Pretty Fly, wanted to do Pretty Fly for a rap line. We're like, yes, absolutely. Sure. And he sent us all CDs, and I was showing my daughter, and she's looking at it, she's like, Dad, Weird Al knows who you are. And he did your song, you're like in a real band now.
That was the moment.
I'm getting her ready to take her to school, getting her ready for eating breakfast.
That's when we knew. That's when we knew.
That's when my daughter knew that her father was a star.
Well, let's do some more stuff. Let's do some more. I know you like to play classical music, right? As well as classic or classical.
Yeah, I'm not good at it. But I do. It is something I love. This is a piece I've been working on for about 40 years now.
It's true.
Bear with me. See, I already fucked it up. No, see, I already fucked it up. Twice now. You know what? Enough of that. Let's do some classic rock instead of classical music. One more try.
You can do it.
Rock and roll history. Here tonight.
Oh man, things are going really well, I think. We can play anything right now. You guys want to hear some Credence? I love Credence Clearwater. I love John Cloverty, and
We both learned to love them from our fathers. Our father's record collection had credence in them.
That's right. That's right. I think it's okay, even in the punk rock museum, because I think John Fogerty and Creedence Clearwater are punks. I think they're They were talking about the man, right? That's punk.
Fuck the man.
Anti-war, unfortunate son. They like flannel shirts. That's also
That's a little more grunge, a little more Seattle.
Sponsored by Dixon.
Close enough. Sponsored by Dixon.
Anyway, let's just have some fun with it.
Punk rock museum cup all of a sudden. Appeared out of nowhere.
Perks. Perks.
It's got beer in it, even better.
All right. This one's a real sing-along. We should get everybody sing along on this one, right?
Jonah's gonna start this one.
Here we go, that's right.
He tells me every day.
all the questions?
There's more.
Let's do a couple more questions. And then we'll move on.
We're rocking quick. We'll go with Dan. I don't know if Dan's here. Hey, Dan. All right, so Dexter, congrats on your first or your half marathon finish. Dan. Any plans on a full marathon though?
Not right now. No. a half is hard.
Yeah, like he's never run a full marathon before. He's already done 2.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah.
Don't want to,
And exactly. The half marathon, wasn't that part of an Ironman competition too?
Yeah, a half Ironman. Yeah.
Okay.
There's no full Ironman.
But that's only like a mile swimming. Miles? 2 miles? 2 miles?
Something like that. It's a mile.
You don't want to talk about it. All right. I'm embarrassing. I'm embarrassing my friend who recently went back to school and got his PhD in molecular biology. Did you fly your jet here today?
I did.
Really nice jet.
So wait, I noticed you just switched guitars. You have a very tiny guitar now.
Yeah, we talked about this. You said you asked me to bring my grandpa's tiny guitar.
Can you show them? I'm not sure they can actually see it.
This is my grandpa's guitar. He got it in the islands when he was recuperating on his way back from the war.
Okay.
And he brought it home. He gave it to me. He left it to me. But before he passed away, he taught me everything I know about music. He gave me this little tiny guitar. It's a ukulele, and he taught me how to play it. And I've been sold ever since. I love tiny guitars.
All right. So we're gonna do something with this,
I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my grandpa leaving me this ukulele.
I'm sure somewhere up there, the grandpa's looking down on you and smiling.
Oh no, it's my mom looking down on me. Grandpa always loved me.
So this might have been your idea, but we were talking about doing self-esteem and trying to think of a different way of doing it, and we talked about doing it with ukulele.
Because the bass line would sound weird on acoustic guitar, right?
On acoustic guitar, it sounds kind of like.
Sounds like shit, right?
I mean,
it's a great part. It's a great part.
I'm right here.
But we decided for we could do better. We could do better. This is going to be, if you haven't seen us do this, this is going to be life changing. Trust me. When you hear something playing on the ukulele.
All right, you guys ready?
La 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 la. good right now, Noodles?